It's Jeremiah music.
Saluto ibuntang karakunu sabola mfonka nguntang. Jamal konye dinding kwe me fusi follow de kasunkan. Kwe pachinka dunkan tonya na paracho tabaila sunkan. Ho hi ho na kuyata mi ye paracho ibuntang. Apo extanta me buntang. Ay burbata kankang jamba saluto bani mabako kundangol. Na polisol konsal salut. Tanta me buntang. Ay burbata kankang jamba saluto bani mabako kundangol. Na polisol konsal salut. Ay wali wo polisol le. Wayo saluto salima baba Yamaro luleo baba Fonsalma Aywa oh police lulele Wayo yo saluto salima baba Yamaro luleo baba Fonsalma Aywa oh sodaro lulele Parado saluto salima Soja kunda duno kuliata ya ukeni ya lanteni kantitala ye Ninja masalo masia jame mkono bari paracho manya na kela ye Sioni njuto jirasta koti ye jamal telo na foni pata ye Nonsagiri fast jama sarali nina biye Yurma trafenda fo bangola tango mbe ya lombara jibabi ye Poliso la loku wa baba dimina biye Alafo mansa motivation no sarali ya domani biye Ayuani wo Wayo saluto salima baba Yamaro luleo baba Fonsalma Aywa oh polizo lulele Wayo yo saluto salima baba Yamaro luleo baba Fonsalma Service doku wa muna kola ya biye Carfajo manfe
The ground here has witnessed barrage military compartment of Unexploded.
Welcome.
Our stations behind Kelly 1, we are now entering White crossover. Roger, noted, we are all now entering White House, and fast contact over.
So this burning that we are seeing around here, we've just been told that this is where most of the cells were landing during those troubled days. You know, somewhere, talking about shells landing in the Gambia, it was around this end where you're seeing some of these bombs. And most of these villages that we have passed so far, all had left before to go deeper into the interior part of the country. But as the situation has now subsided, they are now, returned back home to resettle in the villages. What we are being informed is usually this is where they will stop during their patrols to allow the villagers to be able to harvest their cashew farm. The village is called Balena.
Balena, okay. All stations behind Kelly 1, you can come today to allow the quarter to our passage.
So there'll be key leader engagement here, Guy. You were asking, there'll be key leader engagement here, so you can probably be able to have the first-hand information from the villagers themselves.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Maron, please take note.
What does this stand? I want us to get into castle. What does this stand? Of course.
I will show you where the border is. It's very, close by.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. Take a look at you.
Yeah.
So we...
And this is where the whole issue started on January 24th, 2022, when a Senegalese patrol team met with truck carrying logs. This is where they pass through and they enter Casamas. In Casamas, that is where the actual problem started, where the rebels and the Senegalese patrol team met, and they had a small confrontation. From that confrontation, then that is what led to the launching of this operation. So we will interact with the village alkali and also have some few words with him, perhaps for him to interact with you. Go on.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Mbal kontonna mbal jayla mbal folako bismillah Allah futola jang abetiyata bakir ntol bijande nte fang min ka diam dem Ibrahima Bojang Jambalen ntem alikalol tinal alhamdulillah sani kayembe ala tentul bake biko nyatara kununku atol fam membe lorin ten fan alte hanyila ka lo ten fan bare bi ma alhamdulillah bele al fele al nata jangam siatale alhamdulillah tonya ko man to ham batata jam bakelle because tol jang mborta sinya fula sinya follow wolem troko men jam fan troko le tambita dunta kasama kelo keta wo bota doron lokum fula doron kelo nata ke kotoke wo kelo le jawiya batal because keso ka jolona jang tol jang fang konel Bojang aya katale bakade atena la mol because ye kesi jamale tombon jang na jonata dan doron mol be borda fa tartan tol mol dantan ntali kalo ni mol dantan tol bijang tol ka be ngo mindi anu keso ni ba fayna kan tol kata mabo fenkol sitol juwolto wala duto nka mabo ni wolto na jonta doron nka te kumandi ni ngate kumandron atamba fana kuman ngava ha albornande keso fele be jolon kan jang ikana jang ka tombo fo do fana nata jolon jang fang wo man na tay fang nada ati fango kumandi Bojang kay ko ha nanane do fele jang boyta jam bara ma te anun tol ma hañi itol fanga inata wo lum folo ima sambano for the seconde inata ni fana samba bare itol fango proka ma yalon aman koy aman tay bare yela kato be kele fo inata be stika ya samba o ntol fana mbe tol fango sojarol tentula mba jayla mba fola ko alhamdulillah alama ala yejo ala ye tankani shetan jawola ya katale bake anu jam fana ikana sijang 3 hours ikana sijang nin tol fana pour tol fana si hani ka si wo fam han wo fam alhamdulillah rabbil alamin folo anu han kaso fangon tol baka hani kata tombon ate ko nyego alta tombon sa nya bantanga ko hana mamba fo aliyena jang andu tol fana ikana jang ke sijang sojaro ye jang gad ndan saati o ton tol ngata kaso tombon anun kasol ka men to mom pour tolla nafa manje tolla nafa nyata dole ba fala hani bare to le ajube fanan tol fana itol niaje be do ko la pour tol kamma andu wo fango alhamdulillah ala jo ala tankani shaytanullah wonnat nan kay ko nyimmen nata ko jata fana atele nyanta taala ate fana nyanta le sila jang ate muru fana kay ko alhamdulillah ala man itol batata nyamen ite ikana o bata sifa soto because niatara kunun atol fanal alte hanyila kana jambo so daro wol binalalde bar niatara dol ite hanyila bar bi alhamdulillah mbe wole fokan Bojani jata alhamdulillah tol mennata antol fele jande bar han sa antol fana malla ko abantale andu amambang ngon ka mem moy wolem sojaro Senegal ibe wulo kono andu ibe besrinje yela afenkol be an sinne e kabula damen ton ibijele ibe shiring sa ibe sirin andung ni men kata ba jigay ka foye ko ye cidol bi an tilin nan jang Gambia jang ando be tin tamin to jang tol la jang wona nan tol bi jande alkana jang fay balen fana abe Gambia kono ando abe Foni kansala fana kono so nalbe dawda silon fana balen fana abe Gambia kono abe Foni kono kana anun tol fana nka karto fay jang Gambia nka kuke ke jang Gambia manche kasma dinti to fana Gambia dinti so al sinyo muta al sinyo makoy al silon fana balen fana abe Gambia bare ha mbadata len tol membe boda mbatata le baket sakatuma demaro fang nali demaro so al sinmo makoy jang keso men ka boy nan jang han tolla sajoni bal fam men fata jatata fo mu wo be fatale na kilin doro nga wole domuje bar wo do nga fayle because e ka fandol ka tara ifatale wonta do monolal kilingo wo nga tara abe fenke kan na be fang jija kan ngalon ko nyin abina falale nata kanate nga domo bar wodo ma do mo o be mum problème olti nak dol fele Sadio na fango Sadio fo lulu e borte dunta kasme tata ba jiga soja arabe damento Sadio jamay tata wolto e ko fontol ngata kamana tol ko on tonte tano lale ka kamana because aman koy
alkalo ila mol mi alon ko wolle butanul sate kono e borta kelo nyen fos e murtana ne fo mamurona second muntumale alfama da kido kesol kuma kan o moy jam bayri te mal kala de bi jeyte manta
ntolla mol men nata memmanna woli siata men nata barni ala sonta nga woli fo bojang kumanda bojang kay ko sama dimaso ni ala sonta ibebi murna nan jan saate to ni ala sonta sama dimaso
muntumale alfama da kidi kuma kesol
wo sani kay ametal wo kay sani kay bina karosi la ko kay sani kay alhamdulillah kam mem moy wole maynol wo han kunu suudo fanga kumata bari je kono tore Casamance.
Okay, so alla diningol mil nga karantutal no schoolol soronta janne so alla diningol murta school le fo still now karamol be soronde
still now karango mantara kekan untul fanan tada for region office brikama bari iko ha ibina tical be murnana bari han san tical manna masta wona ta foje asita je ala tical be man son kanate fanana ta muru ko toke han san karam mantara kekan son tol malom be menkela bojan fanga fayen ko nin tol yani atara mbaso tala alfe altra aliena jam base amande ko albe bisa fojan kampolti bari maybe 1 month or 2 months pour moli murna karam because tical mi yalon ko imanche jandinti tolma hani e kamengi mobile to anini kamen iko wolna ne tolman son kana baran kay ko nalna ta bes jambale ko he sojaro be balen ibajira multi fen silalal amanje ko atole be tolla sayale kantala de barhani membe fala wo força be falale barni atala ta filibi ja he sojaro be balen ibajira mol bebe murnan hanti cal fay binala le ka la karango continue dindi ngolla
so ekala be on fara so ko mol dum mantora je
ye mol mantorali because into kesol he no kesol alhamdulillah mol man barama kan untol ka siyeje ka aka boy untol la nyaato ne kaje ay bori nan kaje kanka ngola ka bojan kumani na yena itoliyata because itoliyalon kanyin ta nyamen anani anala moli yana bare ton nene ma fam ni na ja boyta don ka fa abijan ne ngawle fe boja han sanya abijan bare yalon tol ma hanyi katal kom kunkolten ka funti baken bare ngalon ka abijan man bande bare wato wani ngaje doron kay ko be kuman le purenya yena nyim bondi jam because to laskeno bin fitarola bare ma hanyi forole ban lafta fitarola de bare hajil fulale soto nak
education kono be classes aragna dinole melde ni boda satel to kata dula dol to karangola especially kampanti lafta center lola non je special for dinol so atola dinol be muna fanka nyina bang koy man na wodulal soto
wodulan tol be ndiam tan ni na ka regional office tol linga plano ni di tol la fam pour campagne ngadulal be nyini baro be man na soto fan kabirin tare ko ni ko arabo on tol nyanta general meeting sotolale bara alla ni idea ni wobetatel baake mbajiram mbe o fango sambala ji ndota on Monday Tuesday ko Wednesday tol nyanta meeting o soto wolto bara ako amen fo ndola ko alla plano ni fango betia batale amanche fo kapante murlaji bara yalo sanje man tenko mboda ni dindi ngol tata ke karan campagne ni jana sumayata drong yena murunak bara hansa wo man na kede mal muni mala problem nolti inshallah is it safe to stand on it?
One of the craters created by the artillery cells that were dropped, and this is part of the Gambia. This is the Lamfari. It has received a lot of artillery bombardment as part of the ongoing conflict.
What do you mean by
But about 10 meters, 15 meters from here, you are into Casamas. And this bushes that you are seeing is one of the rebel, that was before one of the rebel camps. This is how close it was, and it's part of the areas that there were a lot of eating. So this is a crater created by the cells of the artillery, the 155 artillery cell that dropped in this area.
So that is a gun?
Yeah, it is a gun. It's an artillery gun, and it fires artillery cells. So the cells has a radius of about 300. The fragmentation would be about 350 meters. The fragmentation would hit areas. So you will pick some of the artillery cells here. and ahead also. Yeah, so this is where we just intend to show you some of the cells where they landed. Yep.
Did the Senegalese army prevent you of that bombshell was launched here? Like the dropping of this bombshell, did they say anything to you that there was a crossing of information?
Yes, when we knew about it, the information was sent to our higher headquarters, and the higher headquarters also informed their counterparts. The CDS informed his counterpart about this, and of course, in every military operation, of course, 3 bullets will always move, and the mechanism of the artillery sometimes also is difficult. It might hit elsewhere because if it gets hot, and because of the wind direction and so on. So there are a lot of mechanisms involved. And according to the Chief of Defense Staff, when he spoke his counterpart, he said they have no intention to launch into Gambia. It is not a deliberate intent for them to do it. But of course, looking at the mechanisms, sometimes it does occur. It's just like you throwing a stone. Sometimes you aim your stone going to this direction, the stone will hit a different direction. Meanwhile, you have the intent to hit a particular place. So in this case, it's also like that because it's not a direct weapon. It's an indirect weapon. So an indirect weapon means it goes up and comes down. But a direct weapon is you just aim somewhere and perhaps sometimes it may hit. But an indirect weapon is, you're about, this one is about 23 kilometers to 30 kilometers. So the person doesn't have an eye on where he's going to land, but he calculated within his map and what he has. This is why it occurs in that manner. Okay?
For how long can it travel?
Well, the delay will take about 30 seconds, about. When you hit it and before it lands, the travel time. Then it will travel and come and blow. So where you launch it, it doesn't make much noise, but where it lands, that's where you feel the impact. Yep.
Okay, viewers, where we are right now is called Baipal, where some of the cells are landed during the firing between the MFDC rebels and the Senegalese forces. These are some of the evidence that we have. So stay tuned, where we'll bring you more stories.
Civilian or mankali jauti, service man ken jauti, kan kanta kan nema kan sansan kan makoi, muna baba on konna molule, ayuali wo police molule, wayo saluto salima, yakbaro lule wo, fon salima, wamme police olela wo ma fo police kurungo, wamme soja rolela wo ma fo soja lu kurungo, jamba saluto.
Introduce himself and he will speak in Mandinka. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Bimeng. Nte tom Ismaila Baji. Nte mi jilam farik dingolti. Nte mi alkalo dingol. Ismaila Baji. So jilam fari. Nte mi jankoleti. Kaburun ko hapunta kata bi. Nte be janne manta dulat. Bojan nying. Kaburun first time nimbo jambe nyokono wati nanata katra janne. So na problem on ka itandala sometime tul katra janne to kesol ka sawnjang kesol ka telefon dol ka di bo jam fawnla nka dol ka sawnne kamen faynang wol ka tambile foyna foreso be janni ngaw be itandi bo janne andum bojang nsa tentu no because hani wato men nabe kandiring ninga commande wato rek bojang kan dankule anytime ninga commande lu ngomen rek akan dankule hani kido keso be fay kar rek bojang kanale fo jang ko da ko no jang en to la problème lo nyininka so nka itandi ko wole bojang fana nsa tentu no bayri afana ya mira ko atem Gambia dingolti anyantan to sefula anda fana la wala ala do ko ya itandi ko ya kele so nse bojan tentu no memo membe boja na place ota ase boja na place ota comme boja ya ta nyamen because boja mira ko ala molle be jang atile nyanta ka la mol safe comme ata ya ke nyamen ala mo menyante tarla jawo fana nyanta ka oke isaje mo se sino because what le tambita hani jan dinni ngo fay te dinni jela jang muso ite muso jala jan tole ka tabiro kem faye ntol ni na ñi ustaz ñi fam ustaz le bara fa ko ta tabir lati ñi ha imamo ñi so nsemen fo no wolem ko mbeddani ro kela mansakunda isalon kom tom Gambia dingol leti isalon ko ntol batela maralolta fengo fenketa jang amanyen na fengo stress la ka lon ko ka mira ko ala monte ntoma ala molleti so anyanta hakilo tula bake because ntol fanambe siri jammen na wolem ko ntol nga president ole soto de na tara tonya be dami ntol manya na borna ntol bel na bankol ntol be Gambia le kono par munat nan ntol be borla man ko je melon ko wen tol nyaafale na tara bojante fangon tol jaay te mo tar la jang because nin nata fanan ka men fo en tol ko alisi wala nan tol fanan sita nga confidence soto ko afana ben tol komale bojan lotan tol koma bakele wala nan ba jaay la mba tentula membe lola bojan na singola asalon ko bojan ya menke jang afana nyanta tambin la boja menke
sayang mune mal la problème wol science kaburun ko kita ni bitema science salon schoolol membe bodan to lande ngol man tara karanka hani kabi andu fan wolem na problème balti na dindingol membe jang e man tara karangola still han kabi man tara karangola ali ko normal natra ali normal yemune faale
ntol ngam mem fo kabru i borta yemem fo iko schoolol dindingol ta borta ta itata dame schoolol be damen to ye taraje ye karang bare yalo itebe damen to ibantre ya ila bataye men face wallahi ni tata dulado iti karanno la fo si ya yeta ye karango ke anyama
wadi jumal famata keso ka moy la jam
ndol famata wato mena moy sa en safo 2 weeks back
masa funda e kodo dole talano na malon fo wato le asoto le na le asoto ale jelle soto ando ya talanya de
man sakunda e kodo men tala iko borlalem alunto lunkiling de men ya fo ko gaal dun tan jang wo lungolen tol fanam borta ndara fo sate ni ngombe ka fo moy jang sitano ngon ndata ji yen tol safele kodo ya di momola 5
camera jibe
camera okay kodo ya di momo $5,000 borla dol bije me alon ko wol ma soto ye to safele bare ma soto still han kabi iko be kumandi la bare kumandiro ye kumandile ye nomba sol nyininka momo ila nomba sol because iko choosel nomba le nyanta wala soto la so dol tata ye choosel nomba sang han kabi mela ko do soto dol ya soto de dol ma soto
ko da ko no mobe ka soto le bang
no korda monte de sincirtio korda ni tata sincirtio lem wala ba soto la ana la dimbaya na tara la muso bije ite bije mo kiline ba soto la $5,000
wakidi kesa kuma kangole wakidi kesa kuma kangole mam fenti nyalla dindi ngol la moyato
ntol la jang amem fenti nya bar ci jafaro o ketal de ci jafaro nsemen fo han dindi ngo fangonte cebal fango melon ko han musmen ni ngol melon ko lu fanan itada fo cebayata I panikita pour yena jam fa ka ke problème do still dol melon ko konol bela wol ma muson ka murnan kabi han kabi because munati nay ko itol ma hani be pare itol konol be bulu askeno na habunta ko donke ite borinola do fango wulu tabata bot kantora inde sol kono
ya fo ko man to ko birin keso fama to kuma na sang ay week flasi
week flasi
al sondu mo la sabati nyaabe nyaadi la sila
ntola sabati ntola sonnomo ntol hacilota ntola hacil tenkugo a nyanta men kela wolem ko ntola solaloto nyantal president wala kuma kango moyla min ben tol nyaafala isaji ntol se sino nse steno nte sila fula nte sikam fula sotora because
adila billahi ntol malon na fenkolu na nyonga min feka abe janeta pour ni parata nga ñoo siroke o fanam bele janeta
ning kelo keta wala problème o keta
ntol ka bari la
musol ning
ntol ni dindungol ka bari la
atol la jankabring fenkol kidol kumata alla ma fa wala atol keta nyaade na la dinu
mbori tale ngam bulol mutanga nga bori fo ba jagar nga moto taje bori tatan nyanta sila dame ha
so mo kule dani la man sakunda la
ntol be man sa ntol dani anu lafta fanan jam fanan ntol mimbe boda jam ay fenke ay sonia ngasini na dimbayalo ha tem to sarba nyasi leti nyasi ha
lem jang sate alkaloti jifanga ntomo modu jibalati ndolla sate be nane bala jang nin kasamas be nane rin jang ma kan woni min ko mata non ay mbatani non bare femman na kenye nka bojan komandi ollita ni nga fengo fem moy nka bojan komandi akana akan nyinin ka nka faya min be jang bare sa alhamdulillah fenti jang amma kan woni stop tale momo murta ala dulato wodumo sade about 10 families wolle benun jang bari be seita ibotana jang kala cha jang. It's almost 2 kilometers away from the border line here. Ha bari be seita sainteng mbe kayro kono de mamango nyi ngaten kuntale folo bare wati tambita dutan bullunda sa miyem batandi jang nak kafunyo mado atata no jang Casamance mamango cerano dame kani solle bondi na je ani Senegal so jarol benta ya samba hani sa amanna tene lungol anyanta murna ya min fonye talato par han khabi amanna sa malo min biye folode bare ibabulu je sigen so je
abe sojaru jumal le bulu
Senegal sojarol le amuta
ali alo ne amuta min kama
abenu ni sambola yalo anin kamban dole beni so baykan pour que fintini c'est l'océan jamento jam maje jam sai inin sojarol bentaje ye samba fo binyona bare akonya imam fin kaide bare abe bulde halusan
so alia fo authority tol milbe marare akola
ha bojang nyin ya kalamta nga fayne bare atele nyin kalm kadu folo ntema kalamta no sai nata moy drong anim bojan la fen ko nyin kita wati kilingoti bojan nyin kalam kay ha to nyalande kununen tinga moy nyanta folaye bare mistake wala sai nim bojan ka diamu ka faye ka kuma di ka faye ko nim mengo men keda sa faye bar han sai amana fintile
sayang
ala dimbaya al halo be nyaadi le
ala fango nyin ala dimbaya nyin ibe shoko na de foloten ibe shoko do femme mutade ba
jumala ge balonde
anin ado male be shoko no je ha
nyamale ko man sekunda e mako rodi le fa futa janna
ntol la jang ma futa kay ama futa ja
mbota nyin sate doltole ko dole wuli lulu soro korda atol tama
ntela jang hani mo chile ma futa jang kay
atol la sate fo mo mambori ja
hani ntol la jang mo mambori jande mo mambo jang ntol bebe siri jang kabir ma ko nyeda mo man findi kay
parma era council la de maro brika mo futa jang
hani mo fana ma futa jang
nga kalandele kasama ni ko mo futa de bolko ko kanana Gambia futa di katan so
ha
ko mo so da faso na le mo diandi ko kasama
ñilang amansia family lulle natanu jam bat wol seita wol botanan kala sha yalon kala sha ni jang man jam fa so jaron nata ni je ye laje wol suto nyin kabir ñun futa jani ñun be futa laje wol paktana be borsana jam bari seita kununne ila mo labango seita fam
ko sa fa ko tenkungo bi jere say
sa tenkungo bi je folode
atal fanan na baluwo be nyaadi la jang
nto la baluwo abe kolyarinde to nyabe dame kay karu wadi chambita mote finti la kara lo nyino la iko mo kana ta wulo kono ando han sai to nyabe dame wulo kono jewo mo man ta fulo bare ma ko woni wo tenkun ta fulo
kiri kesol ko jolon ta la saage to jang
ani nka mo ila akum ay ka kuma bare bu ka jolon ina man jolon jang baraka
released a lot of refugees. As you can see, the UNHCR and the Red Cross have pinched some shelters around. So these are some of the ones that are here. Not far from here, 3 weeks ago, there was a rebel checkpoint, of which we will have the opportunity to move and see where they were. But when they hit the place, they have moved. It's very close to the Gambian border, and the Gambian authorities have expressed concern over the checkpoint that was here. So we'll have an opportunity to see. You'll have a chance also to speak to the Alkali of Upert, who will tell you their refugee concern they had, and also some of the issues that are ongoing here, some of the problems that they will have, and also some of the patrols that have been conducted by own troops. As you can see, very evident that it's a very rocky road. Not easy, but we have been doing it under this terrible weather condition to ensure that people really enjoy their life, to make sure that they don't run. We could have registered a higher refugee turnout. We could have registered more IDPs, but because of the confidence-building patrols and the assurance patrols conducted by own troops, the people had the confidence to stay and not to move, and the economic losses earlier highlighted was reduced, simply because the people did not move to leave, abandon the areas. Their animals could have died in droves in high numbers, but because they stayed to give water to the animals and give feed to the animals were able to stay alive. So we will give you the opportunity to speak to the Alkali, who will actually tell you some of those issues. Yeah. Hua?
Mune bila load la di sate ñing ko na ja
ntele msate imamote tele njimo kan mo ñi selende
nga jale mango commencé ta Casamance kono mune ke dal la bata dal mi yalum ka la mol do le takika
minu bota nampam fo tol fa yemin tara
mulu borta anatal fo yemin tara
kabiri na dal e bata sal bawo e burken sen nata so e burken sen nata so dum yentul min tarafana ndol min batadati wala mi la koti yaw min kafona te tara ata e mayila la karoto o mo batada dolete ari bul kensen na tara eni fende manna anu militara ka je yofi ya tara hani gadino la sola fon ya bele jindi ka samba kabungu loptano fan yi solal bele jindi ka samba
jumale wo solal jindi ke samba
wa Senegal militaire lo milnata kawani al molol fana kolonke be samba hansan silaman sotono pour kamuro ni besirine
nga kalamatale ko man sakunda e mako rodile fa futata alla sate nyeto natara futata jang alle jelle so kan wala fa
mun mako sifa domoro la karota ban fo nyaade no ntula man fotan to la jam so yemin folo min nati wala min tantolti so nyin tantol la na atara man taranu jang tamata badum nte fan kabiri nga nyinje wodal aman kontane bo mo jandi ba falama ibuloko afay ko domoroche mo min burken senara e man domoro de ala foy laadu la nyindi ala mo bu ke laano atara ko ikono kensen hani yela bu kasino no domori manna ntolla jang domori manna ko di manna
albe man sakunda dare gam munel
demaro to pour luntangol la balunya wakay nga soto man sakunda la karoto yimol dema mi marna ntollal borla nyi ila domoro nyi si soniano
ikalun nyim do wala ikala domoro ka bumunda
ntolle ngan testi sañ folo man sabulo man fendi forola pour luntangol la domoro to
atol fo wala ge domoro
ale mo jelle jiaja
ndo fam nsemin fono sincirol nga min mara min jiatam fe sincir konondo yalon sincir konondo wala dimba mota haymanano bar min bente fe sincir konondo wala bente fe do wadal nta fonola imo nangamule beje
imale siate kono musollem kebal fodindingol
no mumele tu sa fono mumele si bebe siare musol be siare cebal ndingol fana be siare.
All right, thank you. Issues and concerns they have, and I'm sure the government will provide the assistance, because the operation started along our area from Kanilai coming this way up to around where we last had an interview at Gilamfari. That was the first time that they started operating. That was since 13th of April, March. In 13th of March, then they started documenting, taking their names. Then from there, the assistant would come. But it cannot be very automatic. This is why they are yet to receive the assistance, but I'm very sure that their names have been taken. It's from there that they'll be able to ascertain which kind of assistance they are going to help. Claire?
Start when? April?
April 7th. That was the time that around this belt, the Senegalese started conducting offensive action around this belt. But it started around since 13th of March around Kanilai coming to Gilamfari. So it's have been systematic coming this way, and now they are moving to the other belt. Yeah, thank you.
Gambia, feel like emblem.
All right, gentlemen, this is the border. You can see this mark. So if you cross, you are in Casamas, and this used to be a rebel checkpoint. It has been here for a very long time. All right, this is the checkpoint, and this was a rebel checkpoint. But when the Senegalese started the incursion, they moved. All right, so it just shows that the operation is a bit successful. Yeah.
Can you repeat that? Did you give any strategic support to Senegalese army while they did this intervention here?
Well, what we do as a country and as an armed force, our role and responsibility is to protect our territorial integrity of our country, which we are able to control, and that has also reduced the number of internally displaced people moving further into the country. So this is the confidence building patrol was able to reinforce the people, reassure them so that they do not move further. So that has reduced the potential humanitarian situation in the country.
So what are some of the challenges that you encounter during your district?
Well, you can see the road is very bad. That's one of the things that really affected us. But the people are very accommodating and they really accepted and appreciated what we actually did. And of course, we are able to protect some of the animals who were actually, they are not given food or water. They could have gone astray, they would have gone left. But because of the patrols and the standing patrol that we conducted, you can see we are in the cashew season. So because sometimes people were afraid to get into their farms to pick the cashews, but we stand there for 2-3 hours to allow them to harvest and later they as we had some of these community leaders what they actually said. So the problems, of course, they are there, but at least very minimal. We've got enough support. You can see the new vehicles that have been given by the government to ensure that we conduct extensive patrols. And of course, they have resources. The funding is there. They have provided enough fuel. You can see from our forward operating base from Kanilai to here is very far. So daily or every weekly, we conduct 3 to 4 patrols all the way from Kanilai up to here to Kafuta, going down to Jibora. So it's a long stretch, but actually the operation is fully resourced and funded by the government of the Gambia.
Is the Senegalese army also patrolling here in this area sometimes?
Yes, of course. Yeah, they are in their country, and they are also patrolling. We normally hear information that the Senegalese patrol team have come up to the border. Residents will call us, so it means they are also taking care of the situation in their country.
Had the separatists left when you came here, or you still met it as an active checkpoint?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago they were very active. They were here. We even had an interaction with them, of course, to tell them that you have no business with coming into the Gambia with arms and ammunition. You can come as a normal citizen, which is allowed and is accepted, but you cannot come with arms and ammunition into our country, of which we had an agreement and we discussed. But now you can see they are not there, they have left the place. That's the end of our long-range patrol to various villages and communities that we've interacted. You've seen their reaction, and you've heard firsthand some of the impacts that have been done by the patrol team, and also the assistance by the government of the Gambia, and also the non-governmental organizations, and also the civil society organization, and also the local communities, how they were able to support each other. This will mark the end of my patrol, and also I would like to unveil the new commander of this ongoing operation, that is Lieutenant Colonel Abdoulaye Jatta. We have been here for 3 months, since January to April. So QRF 1 will hand over to QRF 3. That will henceforth start the operation effectively from Monday. To this end, Lieutenant Colonel Abdoulaye Jatta is the new operation commander for Operation Wula Kokon. So that's Lieutenant Colonel Abdoulaye Jatta.
Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies from the press. I am Lieutenant Colonel Abdoulaye Jatta. I am commander of QRF 3. We just returned from Turkey. We spent 3 months in the cold weather, and our soldiers, no condition is permanent. Once we arrived, we were given 2 weeks to go off, and today we are here. We are taking over operations of Wula Kokon. And like the outgoing, my predecessor just alluded to, we are going to continue what they have started. They have taken the shock when it was very hot. And now we are going to follow on their footsteps. We are not here to change anything, and we are here to support our people, the Gambian people, and to make sure that they go back to their normal lives. And the rainy season is fast approaching. And like one of the village heads said, they are going to clear their farms, and they need to do the farming. And I think it is important that we all respect the territorial boundaries, and to make sure that we allow our people to go on their normal lives. And like I said before, the job has been done by QRF 1. We are QRF 3, there is QRF 2. And we are 3, we are here, we are motivated all the way from the counter-terrorism school in Sparta in Turkey. We spent 3 months to train together, and we want to implement what we have trained there. And it is not fighting a war, but it's just to provide security for our people, confidence building. People of Foni are Gambians, and it is our responsibility. They are paying our salaries. Our salaries are paid from their tax that they are paying, so we have to provide that security that they need. So we are on the ground. We are going to follow the footsteps of QRF 1, and we want to assure the people of Foni that we are all the same. Like the code name for the operation, that is Wula Kokon in Jola, means we are all the same. Mbekiling.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Major Boubacar Ba. Actually, my role is Arms and Ammunition Specialist, Gambia Armed Forces. But currently, I am also here in Foni at the Joint Operations Center in Sibanor, geared towards coordinating the activities of our troops along the border, following these skirmishes between, the MFDC separatists and the Senegalese Armed Forces. You have seen it yourself today. It was a very long patrol. So seeing is believing. Thank you for coming. As it was indicated, especially within the red zone in one of the village, Baleng, during the fighting, at the peak of the fighting, a lot of artillery projectiles fired from across the border fall into our country, into our territory. it has been reported that more than 36 of such kind of projectiles were fired and then landed into the Gambia. So one of them was spotted in Baleng, and it was reported to Bojang, Lieutenant Colonel Bojang, the commander QRF 1. So and we proceeded to the location to examine this particular unexploded ordnance. Then we examined it, we inspected it, and we rendered it safe, and now we have relocated it to a safe location for eventual destruction. However, it is important to inform the community within the borderline that should they find the presence of any strange object, they should make sure that they report it. They should not touch it, they should not move it, they should not fidget with it, but rather they should report it to the troops in the area so that it can be inspected and rendered safe or destroyed in situ as it is required. So that is it. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.